Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 23 of the Alibi Pod. And this is our final episode of the year 2024. Wonderful and exciting. Here's
Rangoons.
Gabe with some Rangoons to celebrate the end of 2024, I guess.
And a small camera adjustment. And we're ready to go.
Let's do it.
What's the vibes, folks?
Well, I'm having a good day.
I'm also having a good day. An end to a great year.
Yeah, I just finished my Bible in a Year plan today.
Hey,
I did.
golf clap for
Golf
that.
clap for that. This one was a chronological Bible,
Very cool.
which I've never done a chronological Bible. Done a couple Bible in a year, but this is the first chronological Bible one. So that was fun. Also worked today. Hit a very specific numeric goal for my yearly income today. That I'm not exactly going to disclose on a podcast, but it's not bad.
Golf clap for that, too.
Golf clap for that too. Then I went to the gym and I came here. How's
To have
your
a
good day?
Rangoon.
To have a Rangoon. I'm going to do that.
Today I want to talk about 2024 and 2025. For starters, let's talk about some favorite moments from 2024.
Rangoons are messy. Okay, you go first. I think there should be an obvious number one for you.
Well, I got married. That's a big...
He got married.
Yes.
Top moment of 2024.
I didn't actually want to talk so much about personal moments, although I have had some great ones. Got married, went to the beach in Florida, went to Las Vegas, went to New York, lots of traveling, lots of fun. We started a podcast.
Very fun.
May have heard about that. So fun stuff, but I wanted to talk about some
Podcast moments?
pop culture.
Oh, pop culture moments. Quite a year.
This is fun. Maybe we should do that next year. Yes, I have a selection of what some other people have considered the best pop culture moments of this year.
2024 recap.
And I want to react to them, discuss them.
Let's do
If
it.
they were in fact good, even, or the best. First of all, they said the best Midwesterner was Chappell Roan.
I don't listen to Chappell Roan at all.
Not a great moment.
Something about Good Luck Babe, I think.
Best love triangle, Challengers.
I didn't watch that.
Heard it fell flat on his face,
I did
though.
watch a tennis movie this year.
But it wasn't that.
No, I watched King Richard.
Oh, did you like it?
No.
Yeah, probably not. All right. Silliest lyric.
Yeah.
That's that me espresso.
It's not the silliest lyric.
But it was dumb. And it was wildly popular.
It was, yeah. I think,
All
I guess, based on impact as well as the silliness of the lyric, that can slide.
Yeah, the mass scale of the silliness.
Yeah.
Really, really crazy moment this year. You might remember there was the Willie's Chocolate Experience in Glasgow. There was literally like folding tables in a warehouse with store-bought chocolate.
What a moment.
And they marketed it like really hard, and then it was like super not it. Wild moment. Another moment from this year is the wild glazing for Wicked.
The failed press conference, the absolute disaster that
The
Wicked was.
disastrous press run that they had. Not a great year for them. Get rich quick scheme this year. Pointless movie sequels.
Yeah.
Inside Out 2. Wicked itself.
Okay, so I did
Another
watch.
Kung Fu Panda sequel.
I watched Inside Out 2 last night
Okay.
for the first time.
All
I
right.
had not yet, and I put it on the agenda to talk about because I didn't like it. Obviously, because I'm kind of turning into a hater on this, but I didn't like Inside Out 1 very much either. I didn't like Inside Out 2 any better. The movies are just too stressful for me, you know? The whole point is just like things are going awful inside this teenager. Like the whole point is it's bad and they got to get back to being okay, which I don't enjoy that like as a concept for a movie.
Yeah, no.
Not cool. And also like it's super annoying. And I mean generally like the story wasn't that compelling for me. I don't know. It just
Sure.
didn't.
It's a kids movie. It's a kids movie sequel. What do you expect?
I mean, it's supposed to be like a kids movie, but with the deep, you know, this is actual science of emotions or whatever. I don't know. And like the first one won like awards and stuff. I don't know.
First one was, I mean, it was a kid's movie. It was all right.
I didn't like either of them that much. That's all I'm saying.
Big new tech this year, AI. This was not
ChatGPT.
new to this year.
But had a
We
breakout year,
last
though.
year, but it had a crazy year. Just integrating into every aspect of your life. I use AI on a daily basis, possibly an hourly basis. I use AI a lot for a lot of things.
I've been using some ChatGPT, asking it questions and stuff.
ChatGPT questions, ChatGPT assisted Google searches, which is not necessarily ChatGPT there. Well, let's just say AI. It's all that open AI model, but AI assisted Google searches. AI integrates with
stuff.
my tools at work. I use AI generated images in content creation. I use AI auto caption for videos that I make.
The AI generated images getting kind of crazy.
They're starting to get really good.
You
They
remember
still
that
can't seem to
Instagram
figure
reel I
out
sent
fingers.
you? That baddie, that Nordic warrior woman.
Yeah, like a really hot girl that was not real.
Goodness, it was AI, but wow,
But
AI,
it looked really
AI
good.
getting too good.
Yeah.
The hand, of course, was still a problem, but
One thing from this year that is kind of wild, we all on the internet became obsessed with a baby hippo.
who's we, bro? I didn't.
Not me either. But I'm
was a
not
thing that
taking
happened on the
ownership. It's just the internet did this.
Sure, moving on. Whatever. Hippos
Moving
are cool.
on, the best public execution, Drake and Kendrick. That's what this list says.
Still not as one-sided as people, make it out to be, in my opinion. And, if, 50 Cent is to be believed and, Kendrick might not be done, Drake might not be done. It could carry on into 2025. We'll see.
But an absolute summer 2024 moment.
It was a moment. I was
All right.
paying attention.
Lamest meme of this year,
What's that?
the Rizzler.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Don't like it. Don't like it at all.
Not a fan. Like the Rizzler and the Costco guys. Like apparently there's this whole brain rot section of TikTok.
It's a huge thing. Yeah.
I guess maybe Gen Alpha is onto it. Never hits my feed. Like I don't pay attention to that stuff.
You're not that deep in brain rot.
My TikTok is more sophisticated. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think was the most overused word this year?
Like on Instagram Reels or like
Just on the internet
on
as
the
a whole.
internet as a whole. I don't know. Maybe Gat.
Demure.
That was
It was
dumb.
wild.
That was dumb.
All right, let's take approximately 15 seconds to talk about a crazy 15 seconds of fame. The Tuah girl
She's still going.
made a dumb joke online, tried to turn 15 seconds of fame into a career,
And
crashed out hard.
did she though?
Yes, with this Bitcoin
The crypto scheme
issue that she's got going on. A, it's hard to come back. B, she might go to prison. So
I don't think she's going to
she's
prison.
not going to prison. But
What she did
there will be a
wasn't
lawsuit.
illegal. I don't think what she did was illegal. I could be wrong.
What
but
she
I'm pretty sure
personally did wasn't illegal, but there were illegal things that happened in conjunction with it.
Maybe. It was definitely dumb. I don't know if she understood it fully. Probably not. But
No, she doesn't seem that smart.
Anyway, the point is, and I will say this, though. I'll say this. I think the Tuah girl, Haley Welch, is going to be a celebrity forever. She's going to be able to ride this wave forever just purely based off spite. The people that you absolutely hate and are like, why is this person famous? It's just going to continue. It's just going to keep going. The same way the Kardashians are famous and everyone hates them. Haley Welch is just always going to be famous.
She's going to have to follow up well, though, because her original joke that she made was not good enough to be that famous. It's so
It doesn't take much, though.
And her Bitcoin scheme is not going well. She's not going to be able to make enough
I will
money.
say this,
That's
though.
all I'm saying.
I will say this. She was all like, ooh, influencer for good, and then did a crypto scheme and
Yeah, no.
scammed
She's a problem.
people.
All right. Another phenomenon from this year.
What happened?
Celebrity lookalike parties.
Oh, yeah.
It was wild how
Timothy
this is like
Chalamet
a thing.
lookalike contest. And there was like a Jason Kelsey
huge.
lookalike contest. Yeah, it was huge. I don't know how that ended up being so huge, but
How are there this many celebrity lookalikes? I mean, Timothy Chalamet, he's pretty average in like general, but he's good looking. But like
Yeah.
curly hair, stocky build, like
Stock, yeah, I don't think that's the word
skinny,
you're looking for. He's
scrawny.
Scrawny.
whatever.
Yeah, Timmy had a good year.
He did.
He kind of
Some good movies.
Timmy
this year.
Chalamet kind of he's having a moment. He's coming into his own as one of the forefront actors.
He's got a
at
Bob
Hollywood.
Dylan biopic coming out very soon.
Dune Part 3 coming out
and he's
pretty
doing
soon.
a press tour for the Bob Dylan movie, and it's getting him all over everywhere.
Yeah. Which is, shout out to that. It's kind of a good thing, right? I mean,
All right, hit me with your best movies of 2024.
okay. This is an interesting question. I think we're going to have to go in no particular order for this because there's just too many to rank them properly, in my opinion. I'm going to say number one, though. This is, again, in no particular order, but the first one that comes to mind, I think, is The Fall Guy. I loved The Fall Guy. Such a good movie. It was probably my most enjoyed movie of 2024, possibly my most watched. I think I watched that movie more than I watched any other movie in 2024. I loved that movie. The Fall Guy
Now
was
that
super
you're
fun.
talking, I'm scared that our lists are going to be the same.
Probably very similar. Next movie we got to mention is Dune Part 2. Just because it was good.
Also on my list.
Of course it was.
He's just saying my list.
It is going to be your list, very similar. I think we agree, and we talked about this earlier.
We're probably just objectively right.
That's right. I actually didn't enjoy Dune Part 2 as much. It was definitely iconic. It was definitely worth watching. It was definitely like a all-time film, I guess. Like really, as far as cinematography and everything. It's not as enjoyable as The Fall Guy. Gladiator 2 has to be on the list. Excellent sequel to an excellent movie. Everything was great. Loved it. That's 3. 4, I'm going to put The Bike Riders.
Also on my list.
I liked The Bike Riders a lot. I thought that was a great movie. It was not quite what I expected, but it was better. I liked that a lot. And I need a 5th one. What was the 5th one? There was something that I liked.
My list is exactly what his. You said 5?
Yeah.
4 already?
I
What
said
were your
4.
4?
Gladiator 2, Dune
Oh, yeah.
2.
Yeah. Okay, my 5th one was A24's Civil War.
No, that wasn't it for me.
That's it for me. That was a really, really good movie because it did a great job of taking just a little sliver of time. You don't have to worry too much about backstory. So many movies spend so long developing a world, and this one just took its section of time and told a story that made sense within a very set amount of time. And it had a start and end that neither one felt definite. Like we came in after something had already happened and we left before the whole story was over. Mm-hmm. But what we saw really well. The acting was really good. The colors and framing were unique and creative. And the dialogue was really solid. So I liked it.
That was a good movie. It could be there. I don't have the messages from when you and I talked about it because my phone crashed and I lost all the messages from before October. But there was a moment. Do you have it? What was
I don't think you said you said a 5th.
I didn't have a 5th then?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I think Civil War could be on there. There were a lot of good movies. I think there was a couple of good animated movies too that came out. Not honorable mention, not on the list. I'm gonna put The Wild Robot.
Okay.
That movie was wild. Like what an emotional roller coaster. It was hilarious. It was heart-wrenching. It was all the things. I think also a pretty good movie that came out was the Garfield movie. I enjoyed it.
I didn't watch that.
I did. I went with Tim, and I thought it was fun. It wasn't like any kind of cinematic masterpiece necessarily, but I thought it was a fun movie.
Okay, can we take a moment now to talk about things that we're looking forward to in 2025? What movies are coming out in 2025 that you're looking forward to?
I think nothing that I'm like super, super mad, like I have to go watch this, excited about, is coming out in 2025. Some 2026 and 2027 projects, but probably I'll probably go see like the Amateur, I think.
Yeah, that's on my list. It looks pretty good with Rami Malek.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good.
That looked good.
Are you excited for James Gunn's Superman?
Not really.
No? You don't think so?
Not so much. I'm not like a huge like I don't know. I guess everybody's super excited about it. I didn't really see the hype. Like I don't know why we like this one so much and hate the other one so much.
Well, we hate the other one because it wasn't very good.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Also, it was followed up by one of the worst superhero movies in a long time, Batman vs. Superman. But James Gunn has historically done a really, really good job, right, with other movies.
Yeah. I don't know why we think it looks
And other
so
IPs.
good, though, you know?
It's because people want a good Superman movie.
It could be that. I mean, it could turn out to just be a really good, fits in their movie.
You've got a lot to work with. It shouldn't be this hard to make a good Superman movie.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the How to Train Your Dragon live action?
I am probably going to go see that. Yeah.
Based on the teaser trailer, it looks like a shot-for-shot remake, which is pretty wild.
I'd like to see how that turns out because I'm a big fan of the How to Train Your Dragon movies, you know? And
Yeah, they're
like,
good movies.
If it is, you know, just the same thing but live action, I could be fine with that, you know?
Yeah, but that's a weird thing to do. Like, I'm all right with that. I guess live action remakes do very often vary a lot, but it's weird to imagine just a straight shot-for-shot live action remake.
A movie that I am looking forward to from 2025, Thunderbolts is coming out.
I was about to talk about Marvel, yeah. Thunderbolts is the most promising thing we've seen advertised from Marvel lately.
Yeah.
Even though they've had just an awful run the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Also coming out in 2025, Captain America: Brave New World, which I am not that optimistic about.
I'm not looking forward to that. I don't know.
A trend that carried through 2024 and will now be carried on into 2025 is those pointless sequels and remakes. Just Hollywood's inability to let go of old franchises.
Zootopia 2.
We have Zootopia 2. We have Star Trek Section 31. We have Tron Ares. We have Avatar Fire and Ash. We have a live-action Lilo and Stitch remake. We have a live-action Snow White remake. We have a How to Train Your Dragon live-action remake. We have a sequel to Wicked. We have Karate Kid Legends. We have Happy Gilmore 2. We have Jurassic World Rebirth. We
Looks
have
like
Bad Guys 2.
Yeah, I kind of liked the Bad Guys movie.
Sequels to kids' movies are one thing. Zootopia 2, Bad Guys 2.
Probably I'll watch
Fair
both
game.
of those. Yeah.
Fair game. Mm-hmm. Also, keep making Minions movies. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right?
But as far as like another Star Trek,
like,
I'm sorry.
I don't care about. I'm not even paying attention. Jurassic
Why is there
World.
30
Did we
million of them?
need another Jurassic World movie?
No.
No, we did not. There is no way that we needed another Jurassic World movie. Also, reprising the Karate Kid franchise this late in the game, questionable decision. Feel free, go off. We'll see what happens, but questionable decision. Also, late in the game, Adam Sandler making a Happy Gilmore sequel. Okay.
But he's Adam Sandler.
He's Adam Sandler. It'll be fine, but where did that come from, right?
Travis Kelce wanted it, I guess.
The turnaround time on Avatar is mind-blowing, right? We had 2009, we had 2022, so that's a lot of years. And then now, like 2 years later, another one? Mm-hmm. It's a little scary. Not that either of the first two were that great, in my opinion, but...
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the first one. I didn't watch the second one.
I didn't finish it. I started it. I didn't finish it.
I don't know. I mean, whatever. If you can pull it off, do it. I think as far as the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, I liked the first Jurassic Park movie.
That's correct.
I did. I enjoyed the first Jurassic World movie.
Right.
That means there are 4 other movies, right?
I can't keep them all straight
Either
in my
3 or
head.
4. Hot take, they all sucked.
Really?
They all sucked.
I liked all the old ones.
No, they did the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Every movie, the exact same thing. No variation, nothing to make it interesting, nothing to set it apart. Just, it felt like a cash grab every time, you know? There's just, you know,
A Steven
dumb.
Spielberg crash grab. It was all right.
I know. I just didn't like them. I'm not going to say they like...
Also,
Okay,
the
I
one
wanna
that
say
was
they
Jeff
sucked.
Goldblum, just the whole time.
Jeff Goldblum is fun. That's true.
He
And I'm not
was
going to say
great.
they like sucked like they were just terrible movies, but like they weren't that good.
Nothing special.
They were all right at best.
I'm all right with it. I like the first Chris Pratt one. After that, and the one that they made just a couple years ago, where they like reprise the whole thing and bring all the characters back. That one was dumb.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like. So the old Steven Spielberg associated movies from like the 80s, Indiana Jones, the Jurassic Park movies, Back to the Future. I enjoy them. Like, they're entertaining, even if they are, like, the Back to the Future movies were pretty cookie cutter.
Yeah.
The Indiana Jones movies got a little cookie cutter. All of them, like, they kept making sequels, and they all have that kind of same charm, and yup, they pretty much have the same plot. But it was done a lot better than, say, Star Wars, where the same plot got really boring really fast. Which, hot take, folks, I do not like Star Wars.
I strongly dislike Star Wars.
We agree on this. We do not like Star Wars.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with someone recently where they opined that perhaps Star Wars, and they didn't say this definitively, they were just discussing it and suggested that perhaps Star Wars might have the best cinematography of the 2000s. An era in which Scorsese was active, an era in which Steven Spielberg was active.
Come on.
An era in which Greg Fraser was active.
Yep.
An era in which Christopher Nolan was active.
He was.
And the list goes on of great cinematic directors who were active in the 2000s.
Yeah,
that
freaking
were
Gladiator
not-
came out in 2000.
Yeah, Ridley Scott? Exactly. Which the Star Wars sequels, which Star Wars fans hate, actually do have some pretty impressive cinematography.
Yeah. It's all CGI, but yeah.
Mostly CGI, yes. Although I will say there's some just cool framing throughout stuff that they did a pretty good job of. I had a friend who, though he did not share this opinion, wanted to be the apologist for it yesterday in discussion, and he showed me a reel of some of the most cinematic shots from Star Wars movies. And there are some good ones. There are definitely some good ones, but if we're talking about drone shots that are CGI as your best cinematography, that's not it.
Right.
Because a lot of these movies have just beautiful colors, beautiful sound design, and creative framing throughout the whole thing. That's one of Steven Spielberg's big high points, is creative framing throughout the entire thing. And he really draws you into it with the way the shots are framed. Star Wars prequels, terrible CGI. What are you going to say?
You know, it would be a wild crossover.
What?
A Wes Anderson Star Wars movie. Imagine a Star Wars movie in the style of Wes Anderson.
Was he active in the 2000s too?
I don't know. I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna see when he
I'm
started.
not super well versed in his stuff, but he's cool.
Yeah, let's see what his movies are.
That would be
Wes
interesting.
Anderson movies.
It's all the symmetry and the creative styling.
2007,
Interestingly-
2001. He started back in the 90s, looks like.
Yeah,
Bottle Rocket.
I don't know
Not
that
familiar
movie.
with this movie.
Yeah, I haven't watched them, so I can't
It
really
was
speak
his
to them.
first feature film on a budget of $5 million.
Yeah, I can't speak to
With
his
Owen
older
Wilson.
stuff because I haven't seen it. But actually, one of my biggest complaints with Star Wars movies is that the acting sucks throughout most of them. And the script is not that great usually, too. But I feel like a Wes Anderson take on it would actually allow the super awkward, disjointed delivery to be okay.
Yeah, like the weird stuff in the prequels.
Yeah. Well,
Or
just general awkwardness.
No, that's the sequels, I think.
All of it.
Whichever the ones with Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, that's the prequels. All of them, though, have just awkward line delivery. It, like, with the exception of Harrison Ford, every single actor in those movies just gives, like...
Sucks!
Well, no, Samuel L. Jackson, actually. Let's give points to
accept
Samuel L.
Samuel L.
Jackson.
Jackson. Okay.
We have points to Liam Neeson. Who's the guy in the sequels that was good? Oscar Isaac. Not too bad, not
Oscar
too
Isaac
bad.
was always good.
He's probably the high point, actually,
You can
of
say
the
that.
entire Star Wars franchise, in my opinion.
If
But
we're
from
gonna
a
count
lot of the leads-
if we're gonna count the Solo movie, there was some good acting.
Ooh, the Solo movie was a good movie. That's the Star Wars movie that I like. That might be the only Star Wars movie that I genuinely enjoyed.
Star Wars fans better not watch this.
No, they won't like that.
That's the title right there. Star Wars fans don't watch this.
Yeah, do not watch this.
Rage bait.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Star Wars fans.
But I'm
one
not,
thing
though.
that I love about the Star Wars fan base, though, is that they also hate Star Wars.
That's true. You gotta love that. You gotta respect that about them.
And so it's like, you know, when I dog on the original trilogy,
Yeah,
they don't like me.
sure.
But also they're like, well, you're right. The graphics weren't really there. The acting wasn't really there, but it was so cool.
Yeah.
When I dog
They
on...
admit everything, and they're like, "But it's a good movie."
Which
Like, what?
I respect that. I respect that. If
It's
you're
like-
gonna just dig your heels in and love it, even though you know it's not good,
It's a
that's how
total
I
jump
am.
in logic.
That's how I am about 80s Steven Spielberg movies.
I don't know. You love them even though they're bad.
They're not that great.
Oh.
They're not bad though. Steven
Like,
Spielberg
what
has never
movies-
done anything.
What movies
bad.
are you going to stand on that aren't good? Like what 80s Steel? Well, give me an example. of
Jurassic
these.
Park sequels?
Oh, okay, yeah, no. Yeah, not that good.
But Star Wars, it's not it.
That's not it, no. Failed franchise. Just it all went terribly wrong. But it did end up being a successful movie.
Yeah, so it's not a failure. It was very successful.
I'm not sure if we have time for our dessert draft. How much time do we have?
No, we don't have time for a dessert draft.
I don't think we have time for anything.
We don't have time for anything else.
The time's pretty much up, but last podcast of the year. And
Shall we cut it a little short?
Shall we cut it a little short? Give the fine folks a
and
little extra time on their lunch
Maybe
break?
we should just spend a couple extra minutes complaining about Star Wars.
Listen here, folks. Listen here. You can't take a movie with bad acting, and I mean some bad acting. There was good acting at the time. I stand by the fact that there was good acting even back in like the 90s and the 80s, right?
Yeah. This was not a portrayal of all acting. Also, and when you want to say acting just was like that back then, go watch The Godfather and come back. Like, stop it.
There was good acting back in the day. Star Wars just was bad acting, okay? It was bad acting. Like, one of the best actors in the original trilogy was some random carpenter on set that they hired to play Han Solo because their original actor quit,
Is that true?
That's a true story, I think.
That sounds made up.
Fact
He was
check
already
me.
big.
Go fact
You're
check
just
me.
capping.
No, fact check it. I've heard that
Han Solo?
I heard that Harrison Ford was just working on set as like a set hand. And like the guy who was going to play Han Solo fell through, and so he just stepped in. I don't know. That could be not true, but I've heard it. And it's going to make this whole rant sound kind of dumb if it's not true, but anyway, the point is the acting in those movies was terrible. The cinematography was not good. Like, even the transitions and shots were like, what was happening? Like, the special effects, like, obviously they didn't have CGI at the time, but the special effects just objectively were not that good. The script was not that good. It was just all very clunky, and I get that it was cool to have a space movie in the 80s. Everybody was into space and aliens, whatever. Just, you gotta look back on it and have some objectivity here and accept that those were not good movies. The Star Wars movies were not good movies.
It's true.
It's true.
Harrison Ford was working as a carpenter to help pay for the remodeling of his house. And so he was working with Lucas. He was reading lines for actors auditioning for the role of Luke Skywalker. So he was reading lines with other people's auditions. And then Lucas liked him so much that he cast him.
There you go.
And this was his first like breakout role. Not his first role,
Right.
but his first like major breakout role.
There you go. And he was one of the best actors in the original trilogy.
Yeah, no, he was pretty good. And he went on to have a great career. He's genuinely a good actor.
He's all right.
He's not like mind blowing. He's
yeah.
not one of the greats.
I'm not
but
gonna
he's a
say
genuinely
like
good actor.
he's not gonna sit in the he's not gonna sit across from Leonardo DiCaprio and I don't think Harrison Ford is a great actor.
It's true. DiCaprio, that's a guy.
DiCaprio's that guy.
That-
Man.
he-
Every
he's
time
him.
every time I watch a DiCaprio movie, I'm like, this guy, this guy is an actor.
All right, and that's 30 minutes, folks. And I just want to remind everyone, this podcast is only 15 minutes on double speed.
Yeah, shout out to
That's
double
your
speed.
commute. It's very easy. And we talk slow, so double speed is very manageable.
That's right.
15-minute time commitment to watch the episode, 15 minutes a week, and you get to hear us ramble on about fun stuff.
And I heard somewhere that there might be guests on the Alibi Pod sometime in 2025.
2025 may bring some wonderful and amazing guests that we can't wait to share with the world. So we will see you next year on the
Bye-bye.
Alibi Pod.